Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Ben Grimaudo alongside Justin Maybach. In the last week, Brockport sports have been in full swing with the hockey, basketball, and football teams all in action. In this show, we will take a deeper look into the Brockport football team, but for right now, we'll start off with an update on the men's basketball team. On Monday night, the men's basketball team traveled to Buffalo to face Medaille College. Hamed Shamseldin led the Golden Eagles with 26 points in a 90-75 victory. On Tuesday, they hosted Hobart College for their first home game of the season, defeating the Statemen 89-83. Shamseldin would again lead them in scoring with 42 points. The Golden Eagles hit the road to take on SUNY New Paltz to open conference play on Friday night. The women's basketball team took on the University of Rochester Yellow Jackets Monday night. First quarter, Juliana Taylor takes a pass, shoots in for a deep three-pointer that gets the Golden Eagles rolling. But U of R was too much. Jillian Silvestri takes the long two here for U of R. Brockport was led by Emily Nessler with 8 points, but the Golden Eagles just couldn't come back as they fall to the Yellow Jackets, 57-33. They opened conference play on Friday on the road at 5:30 p.m. against SUNY New Paltz.
Over the weekend, the Golden Eagles men's ice hockey team participated in the WSYB Catamount Radio Invitational at Castleton University in Rutland, Vermont. On Friday afternoon, Brockport defeated the Tufts University Jumbos by a final score of 5-3. Chris Polini, Aiden Verbecki, Zach Sikic, Danny Rock, and Connor Bass each netted goals, while Timmy Kielich contributed with 3 assists. Sophomore goalie Matt Schneider came up big with 30 saves in the victory. However, on Saturday afternoon, the Golden Eagles played in the championship game of the tournament against the Castleton University Spartans. After building a 3-0 lead in the first period, the Golden Eagles choked and lost by a final of 4-3. Timmy Kielich scored 2 goals for Brockport, and Aiden Verbecki scored 1. Brockport is back at home on Friday night when they take on the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons at 7 p.m.
We move on from the ice to the gridiron, where the undefeated Golden Eagles face their greatest test of the season on Saturday, hosting the number 13 ranked Wesley Wolverines as they were coming off of a historic 66-0 victory over Plymouth State in the first round of the NCAA playoffs. We'll pick it up early in the first quarter as Brockport finds themselves in unfamiliar territory, down 7. The Golden Eagles would strike back with a 10-yard score as Joe Germanario finds Daquan Hubbard all alone in the corner of the end zone. Following 2 scores from Tyree Brown, the Golden Eagles would go up 21-7. Wesley would fight back, though, as Germanario loses a ball on the attempted flea flicker play. 2 plays later, running back E.J. Lee takes it in for the score to tie it at 21 apiece going into halftime. Just as they did in the Cortland game, the Golden Eagles would come out in the second half ready to play. Following a long pass from Germanario to Brown, the Eagles would take the lead off of a 2-yard pass to Joseph Ortiz. The defense would also come ready to play in the second half. Following 2 consecutive touchdowns, it starts with a Terry McDonald pick 6, and then Julius Misro forces a fumble, which is recovered by Austin Dean, who then rumbles into the end zone for his first ever touchdown. The defense would notch 3 more takeaways on the day, and the Empire 8 Rookie of the Year would put an exclamation point on the victory here, hurtling a defender into the end zone for his 3rd score of the game. That would be all Brockport needs as they win 49-28 and head to the Elite 8 for just the 2nd time in school history. Brockport will face the Delaware Valley Aggies in the 2nd round of the NCAA playoffs in Doylestown, Pennsylvania on Saturday at noon.
Who has a lot of athletes, and we had to rise up and step up to the challenge, and I think our guys did. Obviously, all 3 phases played outstanding, but it's a huge win for our program right now.
So Justin, you just heard the coach talk about how huge this win was. The offense was clicking for most of the day. With that being said, who was your offensive standout of the game?
That would be freshman wide receiver Tyree Brown, who's made a big impact this season. He was the Empire 8 Rookie of the Year. He had a big game the week before against Plymouth State. He had so many rushing yards in the ground, which is ironic because he's a wide receiver. And then he made a big impact impact against Wesley, coming up huge with that touchdown at the end to secure the victory.
And for me, my defensive standout of the game would be safety/defensive back Julius Misro. He came up huge, notching 6 combined tackles and forcing 2 turnovers, one of which was the 21-yard sack fumble, which was recovered by Dean, who then brought in for the touchdown. Following that, he also had an interception late in the 4th quarter, which helped seal the victory. So now we'll look into the Golden Eagles' next game against Delaware Valley University. What are your thoughts on the game, Justin?
It's going to be a close matchup, that's for sure. Both teams are 12-0, and it's the first 12-0 start for Brockport in the history of their program. They've won their first 2 playoff games with the lowest margin of victory for either team being 21. And I would expect to see a lot of connections in the passing game. I feel like if Brockport really wants to get on the board early in this game, Germanario is going to have to hit Daquan Hubbard for some early, for a huge touchdown. That would, and go up early and don't let Delaware Valley come back.
Well, one thing that will be an interesting storyline is both these teams are among the top teams in the NCAA in scoring defense. Delaware Valley ranked 2nd and Brockport ranked 9th, and a couple of those Brockport scoring averages were just brought down just because of the games against Cortland and Alfred where they allowed 38 and 25. But outside of those games, the Brockport defense has really been stellar this year. They have a lot of takeaways, the 2nd best rush defense in the entire country, and it was the first before they gave up 95 rushing yards in the first half against Wesley. Now, Delaware Valley's strength is the rushing attack. They average over 246 rushing yards a game. Brockport obviously only allows 31 rushing yards per game from the opposing team. So that will be an interesting matchup to look for in this game.
I believe that their run defense is ranked 2nd in the nation right now.
It is. So do you think will that really decide the victory between who's able to exploit that matchup, whether the defense shuts down Delaware Valley or whether Delaware Valley can find some early success running the football as Wesley was? One of the keys to the Wesley victory, though, was getting the turnovers. And I think that they will definitely need to find turnovers this game. Delaware Valley has one of the most takeaways in the country as well. I believe they have 32 turnovers on the season, with 7 of them coming for touchdowns. So we'll see how that happens.
The Brockport defense hasn't allowed as many points as the Brockport defense has allowed more points than the Aggies defense so far this season, but I don't think it should be a determining factor to the victory.
Definitely not. That'll do it for this special edition of the Sportscast. This is our final show of the semester, unfortunately, but we want to thank you for tuning in throughout the year and for all of your support. With that being said, make sure you follow us on all of our social media pages for more entertainment, sports, and news. Until next time, I'm Ben Grimaudo.
And I'm Justin Maybach.
Thanks for watching.